What's up, everybody? Let's talk about why hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people losing their jobs is a good thing. And it's a freaking awesome thing in terms of efficiency for our planet. I'm from the gym world, and a lot of my friends and a lot of people that I know that have gyms are closing down, mostly because of this COVID reality and people can't come. And so the needle that broke the horse's back is that the clients can't come because of the state mandated orders to not allow people to come to gyms. But this was inevitable. This was an inevitable thing because the internet has shown us that people don't need to go to gyms. So the customers that were used to going to these gyms are now what? They're finding fitness on the internet. They're finding maybe even better coaches than the ones in these gyms. How can that be? Well, the internet is a place where efficiency is maximized. The best fitness trainer or yoga teacher or stretch therapist in the world can now service essentially every single person on the planet with an internet device for lower than it would cost for all of that person's customers to go to a physical location. For instance, to go to a physical location for a gym, it could cost anywhere from $60 to $300 a month plus time to drive there. You can flip on your phone and go to an app or go to your favorite rockstar teacher's website, and generally they would be charging between $5 to $30 a month, and most likely will be providing better information than the person that just randomly opened up a studio within a mile of your house. Now, this is happening across every single industry. People are losing their jobs in tremendous order. And this is such good news because it's the freeing up of human power, okay? As the world progresses, there's going to be efficiencies that change how we do things. We've all been hoping for a new earth, right? A new planet, a new world where things are different. Well, if there's 100,000 teachers teaching the same thing, that's not very efficient in an internet-based society, right? Because one of those teachers could put their face on a camera and teach the same thing. We could find the best teacher or the best few teachers with different styles and teach infinite amount of people. And that's a much more efficient standpoint. And that's why it's good news. And I'm going to tell you guys a story about, about Henry Ford and when they transitioned over to the assembly line, right? So they used to make cars like, a full car at a time, right? A car would come through and they would start with the chassis. I don't know the order of this. Start with the chassis, put the engine in there, and then start bolting stuff to the engine, and then take the wheels and put the wheels on one at a time. And it would take about 12 and a half hours. Is it 12 and a half hours or 12 and a half days? I'm going to say hours because days just sounds insane. It would take 12 and a half hours to assemble an entire car. Then they adopted something called an assembly line, where many different cars would come through one after another, and either machines or humans would put on parts. So there'd be one human putting on the same nut or the same 5 nuts onto the right front wheel, and then the car would flow through to the next group of workers who would then do the next task. And the adaptation of the assembly line took the amount of time it took to make a car from 12 and a half hours down to about 90 minutes, okay? Extreme uptake in efficiency by a switch of how we assembled cars. What this did is it made Henry Ford, the corporation, the man, whatever, the business, way more profitable. They were able to produce more cars than his 300 competitors combined, okay? Which then allowed him to pay his workers double the price because they were a part of this efficient system. Now, back to us. If we just got fired from a job or just lost our business, this is an opportunity for us to create, to participate in this new world, this new economy. What does it mean? No, there's nowhere to step into, okay? We've all been, noticing things aren't exactly harmonious in this world, okay? So there's not going to be like a thing that's easy to step into. In this era, in this time, in this eon, it is very beneficial to have the skill of finding comfort in the uncomfortableness, okay? Which is why things like ice baths and breath work have become wildly popular, because those who are able to be comfortable without breathing or comfortable inside of an ice bath are the ones who are slowly realizing that this skill is transitioning their life. They're able to step forward into new realities or be okay sucking at something new, which is necessary in this reality. So the human being, the human society is getting a massive upgrade in efficiency right now. If you have lost your job recently, you are not needed. Like straight up, you are not needed. Hence the reason why you are not working right now. So rather than just waiting to see if you're going to get another job, which probably most likely isn't the case, or just relying on the minimum amount of money that the government is giving you, which is not going to make you happy, it's also not going to make you fulfilled. There's no sense of purpose waiting on the government checks, right? Waiting on somebody calling you up and saying, hey, I want to hire you to do something. Participate in the new earth. We've got a massive freeing up of human energy. What do we do with it? Right? What do we do with all of these people who are now not needed to do the same minimal, I don't want to label it, but the same tasks that they've been doing their entire life in an inefficient, non-internet based society, okay? The internet came online, back in the 80s, but it really got popular when we had it in our pocket in the early 2000s, all right? It's 20 years after that. The internet is basically doing what the assembly line did. It's just basically saying, we don't need millions of people doing the same thing all over the place. Anything that can be done with one person streaming information out to infinite amount of people doesn't need more than that one person to be. And I keep on repeating myself here, right? Because the main theme of what I wanted to say here is that we get to create the new planet. What do these millions of people, this human energy, what do we do with it? So it's up to us to figure out what we are going to do individually. It is also up to us to inspire others to maximize their own individual potentials and participate in this revolution that we're going through right now. If you have any comments, let me know. This is kind of an unclosed topic because I don't personally know what the future holds, right? We all get to determine that, and I'm just bouncing off ideas with you all.